my heartbeats, and welcome. Today's video, I'm going to be discussing how my family and I are able to both go to public school as well as work as dual learners. So I'll preface this by saying that this is not for everyone. And normally when I tell people what we do, they have one of two reactions. Either that's so cool, I can never do that, or how are you doing that? That sounds crazy. And although both of them are understandable and one sweeter than the other, um, I want to kind of show you how it can be both realistic and very manageable to do. Um, for me and my kids, we've gone straight through all of the curriculum that we've done starting from preschool, and prior to preschool, we worked very hard through play. So even when they were 1, 2, 3, we were working on things, they just weren't necessarily formal curriculum. So that's where things started. I would encourage anyone that has small children, ages 0 to 3, to take advantage of that time. They're so moldable. They want to please you. They have a spirit of creativity and wonder. Everything is still so new and fresh, and it's a great time to start. So don't doubt those initial years and what they are capable of then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a sample of what a school day could look like for them, and then also what our dual learning schedule looks like at home. For me, I normally get up in the morning between 4 and 5 a.m., and that's not to work with them. That's just because I like to get up, I like to exercise, read my Bible, check my emails, do anything for me before they get up. So that gives me from either 4 to 6 or 5 to 6 to do that. My kids go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. They get up at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. On the weekend, they normally sleep in, but only so much because since they're on that schedule, they'll probably be up by 7 or 8. But they'll get up at 6. They will eat their breakfast, do all of the morning things, and then normally by 7, 6:45 or 7, they'll start schooling, and we will school from 6:45-ish, 6:30-ish until 7:45 when we need to get ready to go. We have to be at school by 8:15. School's not very far from my house. So we're normally, running out of here on 2 wheels. And if anybody works at my school, you know. So we'll go ahead and get into the schedule for the kids at school. So we've now schooled. It's 8:15, and this is what they are doing. On this class schedule, you'll see that it starts at 8:50. I have to be there at 8:15. They don't have to be in class until 9. So from 8:15 to 9, the kids normally take AR tests or read whatever book that they're into at that time. Marielle is very good with chapter books. She can just read on and kind of not be bothered. Jaron will every now and then ask me to type in an AR test or ask me for something. He's just him. But that is what they are doing while I am getting ready for the day. So then 8:50 to 9, there are morning announcements, attendance, 9:15, 9 to 9:15. They're in the earlier years, first and second grade, so they may have morning meeting. Let's fix that. Every other video, I'm telling you, I'm typing fast and just living my life. Okay, so they'll have morning meeting for about 15 minutes. Then they will go into special area. And this is just a sample schedule. The special area times and the recess times are set, but this may not be the exact order, but these are the minutes that they would be in special area. So 9:15 to 9:55, they go to special area, and then they would come back to class. And really, they probably wouldn't get back to class till about 10, but I have it back to back on this schedule. So you do the math from the time they get to school, 8:15 to 10 o'clock, they have not necessarily been doing formal academic work. Yes, they have been being exposed to different things. Special area is wonderful. They have library, art, music, and PE. Those things are wonderful. Those are part of their education. But as far as ELA, social studies, math, they haven't even gotten to that by 10 o'clock. So then they go into the whole group ELA block. That will be about 30 minutes. Some teachers use the whole 90 minutes for whole group instruction. Others do about 30 minutes of whole group, and then they do ELA centers. ELA centers are just where you'll have the teacher table and then several other centers that students will rotate to while the teacher is teaching her group. And then she'll pull, he or she, they will pull different groups as they go through. Then students will go to lunch. After that 90 minutes, they'll come back. They may do some writing or finish up whatever they have from ELA for about 30 minutes. Then science and social studies, especially in the younger years. I wish that this were different, but there's not enough time. And so what a lot of times happens is that teachers end up going science one day, social studies the other, science one day, social studies the other, and it ends up being about 30 minutes, every other day or every however they do it. Whole group math, we've got 12:55 to 1:15. Then again, there are those math centers. Some teachers like to do the thing whole block as whole group. Other teachers will split it up between whole group and then do those centers where the teacher is pulling different groups. Recess will then be about 30 minutes by the time you go in and out. And then that last little bit of the day is going to be intervention and enrichment. And it is a beautiful time. The problem that a lot of teachers face, though, is that they need to pull intervention groups and enrichment groups, and there just isn't enough time. So when you add that up for the time that they're actually working on academic work, it is not the full 7.5 hours. It may be spread across the day, about approximately three. Okay. 3.5, three and some change. So that's where my kids don't get exhausted. They are completely fine with it. And there's also, you have to remember that because we have worked straight through from preschool on, the level that they are working on at home is substantially higher than the level that they were working on at school. And so what we have done is I teach them at home new concepts and they review those new concepts at school. And this has done two things for us. One, it gives them individual instruction from me, but two, it also builds confidence as they are reviewing and takes some pressure off of their teachers in class. So it's a win-win-win for everyone. All right. Now, this is their special area schedule: library, PE, art, PE, music. It could be different depending on whatever class you're in, but these are the different special areas that they have. That is what they do at school. On the flip side of that, I have their schedule at home, and it is not as detailed as far as time goes because I am very flexible with how things get done as long as they are getting done. We are a dual learning family. We school year round. So during the regular school year, we're going that my kids are going both to public school and I am schooling them at home. But during the summer, I just school them at home. And so this is our summer school schedule right now. Monday through Wednesday, they work while they're eating breakfast, we talk about the Bible. I might read to them a couple verses. We'll talk. No big deal. They'll do handwriting after breakfast. Um, they have the Good and the Beautiful that they do. My son is working on level 3 for language arts and math. My daughter is working on, she's finishing up level 3 for language arts, and she's working on level 4 for math. So they'll do that after handwriting. You'll see that Monday through Thursday, I have Spanish and science. I am able to speak Spanish, but I will not do that on this video. I don't want it documented. It is very choppy. So they will do Spanish and science Monday through Thursday. And for science, it's kind of special because my kids love science. They don't feel like that is work at all. So we do that as our bedtime stories. And sometimes if there's something that we really liked during the evening, then I'll pull it into the morning. Like we talked about deciduous trees and conifers last week, and then we ended up having breakfast the next morning and talking about maple syrup in the next lesson. So that was really cool. They enjoyed that. Not everything that we do is straight book work, and science falls into that category. So on Thursday, we stopped doing handwriting. Everything else stays the same. Friday and Saturday are kind of chill days. If there's anything that we need to catch up on, then we will, as far as science goes. But social studies, we just listen to the story of the world. And then if there are any books that go with the story of the world, then we will also read those as well. Those books are normally really fun. They ask to read them. That's the thing, like, a lot of this we have just done so much, and they see it as fun. They don't give me any pushback because they know if we read Story of the World, then we're going to read the Flat Stanley book about Stanley in Egypt, and we're going to get to go and explore different topics on Egypt and talk about mummies and all of those. They like that kind of stuff. So they enjoy that. I have a finance piece on there, and maybe one day I'll talk about that, but without going into too much detail, they both have investment accounts, and we talk to them about that. My son is very into his investments. He could talk for hours about how you shouldn't be in debt. So that's fun. um, and that is pretty much it. If they read every day, so I have one Friday and Saturday that they read, but that's just something that they naturally do. Friday and Saturday are Jeremy's game days. He's gonna play the video game. He loves the video game. He's gonna have a good time doing it. So he'll read, and then he'll be on that game. They love their iPads. They've got little PBS Kids games. They like to do those. But it's not anything super crazy. With that being said, we are able to be a dual learning family because we do not stress being perfect. We do not stress everything getting done every single day. If there's a math lesson and we've got to go to school and they only did half of the math lesson, then they'll do the other half the next day. What is important is being consistent more than finishing a certain amount of lessons, more than having a book done by the end of a quarter or by the end of a semester. We don't stress those kinds of things. Yes, partially because they are in public school, but more so because levels don't appeal to me. I want to make sure that my kids have a solid understanding before we move on to something else. So that is how we are able to be a dual learning family. I hope that this helped someone, anyone, and that you all won't give me too much pushback from this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.